Hello dear students, now I am going to discuss Cambridge IGCSE October-November 2022 paper 42, paper 4, theory extended. October-November 2022 paper 42 mean paper 4 theory extended. Now number 1, diamond and graphite are different solid form of carbon. The carbon atoms in diamond and graphite are arranged in different ways. A. State the number of covalent bonds each atom has in diamond. You know, diamond is tetrahedral, so one carbon is attached to 4 other carbon. Tetrahedral. This one carbon is attached to 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon. This is tetrahedral. And so state the number of covalent bonds in diamond. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bond. B. State the term used to describe the structure of diamond. You know, diamond is a giant covalent, big structure. Name an oxide that has similar structure of diamond. Silicon dioxide. SiO2. Silicon dioxide also giant covalent. Diamond, graphite, silicon dioxide, these three substances are giant covalent. Number D. Describe the arrangement of atoms in graphite. How atoms are arranged in graphite? You know, layers of hexagonal ring of carbon. Hexagonal ring means hexagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexagonal ring. Graphite has ring, hexagonal ring. 6 carbon atom makes ring, and these are layer structure. One layer is attached to others layer by weak van der Waals force. E. Explain how graphite conducts electricity. It has mobile electron, it has free electron. That's why graphite conducts electricity. Now F. Buckminster fullerene is a simple molecule form of carbon. The relative molecular mass of Buckminster fullerene is 720. Determine the number of carbon atoms in one molecule of Buckminster fullerene. So you know, carbon relative atomic mass is 12. So total relative molecular mass 720. So this means it contains 60 carbon atom. G. All forms of carbon burn to produce lime water. Name the substance used all forms of carbon burn to produce carbon dioxide. Name the substance used to test for carbon dioxide. Lime water. You know, lime water, carbon dioxide turns lime water milky. Lime water means CaOH whole 2, calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide, this aqueous, this is known as lime water. This is colorless. So if you pass carbon dioxide gas through lime water, it turns milky. As carbon dioxide reacts with calcium hydroxide to produce calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is a white solid, that's why it looks milky color. Now question number 2. Sodium is a reactive metal. Suggest why sodium is stored under oil. To prevent contact with air. If sodium is kept under oil, so it cannot come to contact with air. To prevent contact with air. Sodium burned in air to form sodium oxide. State the term given to reaction in which a substance burned. Combustion reaction. Sodium is combusted with oxygen to form sodium oxide. This type of reaction is known as combustion reaction. 2. State the color of flame seen when sodium burns. Yellow. When sodium burns, yellow flame is observed. Three. Write a chemical equation for the reaction which takes place when sodium burns in air to form sodium oxide. Sodium reacts with oxygen to form sodium oxide. Oxygen valence is 2, oxygen valence is 1, so 1 no need to write. Now right hand side has 1 oxygen, left hand has 2 oxygen, so we have to write here 2. Now sodium atom 2 to the 4 atom, so I have to write here 4. Sodium oxide. Complete the dot and cross diagram to show the electronic arrangement and charges of the ions in sodium oxide. Dot and cross diagram. Sodium oxide is Na2O. It contains 2 sodium ion, 2 Na plus, and oxide ion formula is O minus 2. So here 2 sodium, 2 10 electron. Outer shell has sodium, you know, sodium is a group 1, so it has 1 electron in its outer shell. When it lose, it forms positive ion, single positive ion. This also same because 2 sodium ion. First shell 2 electron, second shell 8 electron, outer shell lost 1 electron, it become positive ion. 2 sodium atom lose 2 electron, and you know Oxygen is a group 6 element, so it has 6 electrons in its outer shell. 2, 4, 6. Oxygen gains 2 electron to cross 2 electron to form negative 2 ion. So their outer shell become fulfilled. Sodium 8 electron is lose 1 electron in its outer shell, it become positive ion, this also become positive ion. Oxygen gains 2 electron to form negative 2 ion. This is ionic compound. Number C, sodium reacts vigorously with water to form aqueous sodium hydroxide, which is a strong base. Sodium hydroxide is a strong base. Explain in terms of proton transfer what is meant by a base. Base, proton transfer. Proton means hydrogen ion. Proton means hydrogen ion. Base, proton acceptor, and acid, proton donor. I mean, acid gives proton, base takes proton, accept proton. State a pH number that indicates the presence of a strong alkali. Strong alkali pH 12 to 14. So you can write 12 or 13 or 14. You get marks. Any number. Number 3. State the color of methyl orange in aqueous sodium hydroxide. Yellow color, you know. Methyl orange in alkali sodium hydroxide yellow, acid red, neutralization orange. Number 4. Sodium reacts with water to form sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Calculate the concentration of sodium hydroxide in gram per dm cube. Question is asking, calculate the concentration of sodium hydroxide in gram per dm cube. When 0.345 gram of sodium is added to 50 centimeter cube of distilled water. So, calculate the number of moles of sodium added. Sodium mass is given. So, number of mole will be given mass divided by molar mass. Sodium 23. Mass divided by molar mass. 0.015 mole. This determine the number of moles of sodium hydroxide form. Sodium 2 mole, sodium hydroxide 2 mole. 2:2 means 1:1. So moles of sodium hydroxide will be same as sodium mole. So number of moles of sodium hydroxide also will be same, 0.015 mole. Calculate the concentration of sodium hydroxide. N equals CV. So C equal N by V, number of mole divided by volume. So number of mole 0.015, concentration 50, volume 50 divided by 1000. Centimeter cube is converted to dm cube. 0.0 0.300 mole per dm cube. This is the concentration in mole per dm cube. Now question is asking determine, next question is asking determine the MR. MR means relative molecular mass of sodium hydroxide, and calculate the concentration of sodium hydroxide in gram per dm cube. So MR, relative molecular mass of sodium hydroxide, equal sodium 23. So 23 is the relative atomic mass of sodium you will get from periodic table, plus oxygen 16 and hydrogen 1, 40. So you know formula, concentration in gram per dm cube equal concentration is mole per dm cube into molar mass. This is the formula. Concentration in gram per dm cube equal concentration in mole per dm cube into molar mass. This 12 gram per dm cube. This is the answer. Number D, when sodium hydroxide is added to aqueous iron 3 chloride FeCl3, its name iron 3 chloride, a solid product is formed. Name the type of reaction where a solid is formed from two solutions. When two solutions reacts to form a solid, this type of reaction is known as precipitation reaction. So this is precipitation. Number 2, state the color of this solid product, red brown. Iron 3 hydroxide is formed. Iron 3 hydroxide form. Iron 3 chloride reacts with sodium hydroxide to produce iron 3 hydroxide and sodium chloride. Iron 3 hydroxide FeOS3 is the red brown precipitate. Red brown precipitate. Name the solid product, this iron 3 oxide. 4. Write the ionic equation for the reaction. Include state symbols. This is the ionic equation. Iron 3 ion aqueous reacts with 3 mole hydroxide ion aqueous to produce iron 3 hydroxide solid. This is the precipitate. Precipitate means solid. Next, question number 3. Sulfuric acid is manufactured by an industrial process. Sulfur is obtained from sulfur containing metal ores. The sulfur in the metal ore is converted to sulfur dioxide, which is then oxidized to sulfur trioxide. Sulfur dioxide is oxidized by oxygen to produce sulfur trioxide. A. Name a metal ore which contains sulfur. Sulfur containing ore name is zinc blendy. ZnS, zinc sulfide. B. Describe the process which converts metal oxide metal ores to sulfur dioxide. Metal ore convert to sulfur dioxide roasting in air. Roasting in air means strong heating in air. Strong heating in air. How? Zinc blend means zinc sulfide reacts with oxygen to produce zinc and sulfur dioxide. Describe the process which converts metal ores to sulfur dioxide. Metal ore sulfur dioxide is converted to sulfur dioxide roasting in air. I mean strong heating with air. Number C. Name the industrial process used to manufacture of sulfuric acid. Contact process. Manufacture of sulfuric acid, contact process. Manufacture of ammonia, Haber process. So this is the contact process. D. The reaction that produce sulfur trioxide is an equilibrium. The forward reaction is exothermic reaction. State the temperature and pressure used to make sulfur dioxide. Here temperature is used 450 degree centigrade temperature and pressure 2 atm, or you can write 1 to 2, any value. Next, name the catalyst used. Contact process for the manufacture of sulfuric acid, you know, vanadium 5 oxide catalyst is used. V2O5, vanadium 5 oxide. Vanadium 5 oxide catalyst. Three. Describe two features of an equilibrium. Two characteristics of an equilibrium. Number one, the rate of forward reaction and the rate of reverse reaction are equal. The rate of forward reaction and the rate of backward reaction are equal, rate equal. Number two, concentration of reactants and products are constant. Concentration of reactants and products remain constant. But you don't write the same. Concentration of reactant and product remains same. You don't write this. Remain constant, you write. Number 4. State the effect, if any, on the position of equilibrium when the following changes are made. Explain your answer. You have to explain. Temperature is increased. Equilibrium moves to left hand side as the reaction is exothermic reaction. Here you know this given forward reaction is exothermic reaction. So if you increase temperature, equilibrium will go to the endothermic direction, means right to left. So equilibrium moves to the left, or you can write right to left, because as the reaction is exothermic reaction, or you can write reverse reaction is endothermic reaction. Or you can write equilibrium moves to the left to absorb heat. Pressure is increased. You know, if you increase pressure, equilibrium moves to the lower number of moles. Because pressure increases, mole number decreases. So in equation, left hand side 2 mole sulfur dioxide plus 1 mole oxygen, total 3 mole. Right side has 2 mole sulfur dioxide. Right side has less number of moles than left hand side. So if you increase pressure, equilibrium will move from left to right. Pressure is increased, so equilibrium moves to the right hand side as there are more gaseous moles on left hand side, or you can write there are less gaseous moles on right hand side. More left hand side, less right hand side, because left hand side has 3 moles, 2 moles sulfur dioxide, 1 mole oxygen. Right side has 2 moles sulfur trioxide. Explain in terms of particles what happened to the rate of reaction when the temperature is increased. What happens to the rate of reaction? I mean, if you increase temperature, rate of reaction increases, increasing temperature, rate of reaction increases. So first you write rate of reaction increases. Then you explain, because if you increase temperature, particles have more kinetic energy. So more molecules have energy or gain energy equal or greater than activation energy. So more successful collisions occur per unit time. Simply you can write rate of reaction increases, because increasing temperature, the kinetic energy of the molecule increases, more molecules gain energy greater than activation energy, so more successful collision occur per unit time. E. Name the compound formed when sulfuric acid reacts with ammonia. Sulfuric acid reacts with ammonia to form ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate. Ammonia reacts with sulfuric acid to produce ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate. This is ammonia, this is sulfuric acid, this is ammonium sulfate. Sulfate valency is 2. So this 2 here. Ammonium is NH4 plus, valency 1. That's why ammonium sulfate is NH4 whole to SO4. This name is ammonium sulfate. Next, number 4. A student prepares magnesium sulfate by adding excess magnesium to dilute sulfuric acid. Number A, write the chemical equation for this reaction. Metal reacts with acid to produce salt plus hydrogen. Here magnesium reacts with sulfuric acid, magnesium sulfate salt plus hydrogen. Metal reacts with acid to produce metal salt plus hydrogen. Number B, describe 2 observations which show the reaction has finished. Reaction is complete. First, this reaction hydrogen is produced, so fizzing occurs, and solid will dissolve. When magnesium reacts with sulfuric acid, magnesium will dissolve. That means from this question B, this asking two observation to show that reaction has finished. No more fizzing. I mean, when fizzing is stopped, that means reaction is completed. And solid stops dissolving. When reaction complete, solid does not dissolve. The excess magnesium is removed by filtration. State the general name given a solid separated from the solution by filtration. This residue. When you filter something, the solid substance is known as residue and liquid substance is known as filtrate. Number D. The aqueous magnesium sulfate means magnesium sulfate solution is heated until crystals begin to appear. Number 1. Suggest the name for a solution in which no more solute can dissolve. You know, saturated solution. Saturated solution is a solution which can dissolve no more solute. That means solution is saturated, it cannot dissolve no more solute. Number 2, suggest why more crystals of magnesium sulfate appear on cooling. Because solubility of solid decreases as temperature decreases. When temperature decreases, solubility decreases. That's why solid is formed. More solid form. Temperature decreases, more solid form. Magnesium sulfate crystals have the formula this MgSO4.XH2O, where X is a whole number of molecules of water. Whole number 1, 2, 3. The student heats the crystal to remove the molecules of water. This is hydrated magnesium sulfate. If you give heat, anhydrous salt is formed and water formed. So now question is asking, name the term given to crystals containing molecules of water. Name the term given to crystals containing molecules of water. So when crystal contains water molecule, this is known as hydrated. I mean, this name is hydrated magnesium sulfate and this name is anhydrous magnesium sulfate. Hydrated means with water, anhydrous means without water. Now you see, the student heats a sample of hydrated magnesium sulfate and finds it has lost 0.140 moles of water. Moles of water lost 0.140 and has 2.40 gram of magnesium sulfate remaining. Moles of water this and anhydrous magnesium sulfate is 2.40 gram. Question is asking, determine the value of X using the following steps. Calculate the AMR. AMR means relative molecular mass, molar mass. Magnesium relative atomic mass 24, you will get from periodic table. Sulfur 32, oxygen 16 into 4, total 120. So AMR of magnesium sulfate 120. Now determine the number of moles of magnesium sulfate solid. Magnesium gram is given, so you will use solid formula. Moles of magnesium sulfate equal mass of magnesium sulfate is given 2.40 divided by molar mass of magnesium sulfate. If you calculate, you will get 0.02 moles. Determine the value of X in magnesium sulfate, hydrated magnesium sulfate. So you already calculated moles of magnesium sulfate ratio moles of water, you know. This is the magnesium sulfate mole 0.02, water mole 0.017. 0.02 is the smallest, so you divide by the smallest. Divided by the smallest, 0.02 divided by 0.02, you will get one whole number. 0.14 divided by 0.02, you get 7. That means X mole equals 7. X value is 7. Next, F. If the student uses dilute nitric acid instead of dilute sulfuric acid, the salt formed is magnesium nitrate. You know, if sulfuric acid, magnesium sulfate. If nitric acid, magnesium nitrate. If hydrochloric acid, magnesium chloride is formed. Write the chemical equation for the reaction when solid magnesium nitrate is heated. This heat sign, you know, if you give heated group 2 nitrate, I mean group 2 metal reacts with nitrate, group 2 nitrate compound is formed. Say magnesium nitrate is a group 2 nitrate. If you heat group 2 nitrate, they form group 2 oxide and brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Any group 2 nitrate, if you give heat, it decomposes to form group 2 oxide. Here magnesium, so magnesium oxide and nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Nitrogen dioxide is a brown gas, so observation for this reaction will be brown gas is seen. Next, question number 5. This is from organic chemistry. Ethane is an alkane which undergoes a photochemical reaction with chlorine as follows. Ethane reacts with chlorine to form chloroethane and hydrogen chloride. Write the Jenner, number A, write the Jenner formula of alkane. You know, Jenner formula of alkane, CnH twice n plus 2. B, state why this reaction is described as a photochemical reaction. You know, for this reaction UV light need ultraviolet light. As for this reaction ultraviolet light is needed, so this is known as photochemical reaction. See, in this reaction, an atom of hydrogen is replaced with a chlorine atom. State the type of reaction, substitution reaction. When any alkane reacts with chlorine, one hydrogen of alkane is substituted by chlorine atom. This type of reaction is known as substitution reaction. Number D, in this reaction, one of the product is chloroethane. Name the other product is hydrogen chloride. Another product is hydrogen chloride. One is chloroethane, another is product is hydrogen chloride. The energy profile diagram of this reaction is given. Energy, progress of reaction. This is an exothermic reaction. This is activation energy. Reactant to peak of the curve distance is known as activation energy A. Name of the B. The energy difference between reactant and product is known as enthalpy of the reaction. Energy change of reaction, this is known as delta H. Energy change of reaction or enthalpy change of reaction. Number 3, state how the energy profile diagram shows this is an exothermic reaction. You see, start from energy. Product has less energy than the reactants. Product has lower energy than the reactants. So, an energy of product is lower than the energy of reactant. It shows that this reaction is an exothermic reaction. Energy of product is less than reactants. Ethane reacts with chlorine, chloroethane and hydrogen chloride is formed. This is the displayed formula. They are bond given and bond energy values are given, bond enthalpy values are given. So use the bond energies in the table to calculate the energy change in this reaction. Use the following steps. Calculate the energy needed to break the bonds. You know, in reactant bonds are broken, products bonds are formed. So here there are 1 carbon-carbon bond and 6 carbon-hydrogen bond, 1 chlorine-chlorine bond. You will add all these values are given. You will get 3050 kilojoule. Next, calculate the energy released in making bonds. When bonds form, bonds made, energy is produced, energy is released. You will have two products side all bond. Here 1 carbon-carbon bond, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon-hydrogen bond, 1 carbon-chlorine bond and 1 hydrogen-chlorine bond. You will add all these bond values. 5 into CH bond 350, all if you add you will get total 31700 kilojoule. Now determine the energy change in this reaction. You know, delta H value will be bond broken energy minus bond form energy. This is the all reactant energy. This is the bond making energy. If you will subtract, you will get negative 120. As delta H value is negative, so this is an exothermic reaction. Number 6, a carboxylic acid Y has the structure shown. This is the carboxylic acid, because you know the functional group carboxylic acid is COOH. This is the functional group of carboxylic acid. State the general formula of carboxylic acid. CN H twice N plus 1 COOH. Functional group. COOH is the functional group and CN H twice N plus 1 COOH is the general formula of carboxylic acid. Number B, name carboxylic acid Y. What its name? It's 1 carbon. So 1 carbon containing carboxylic acid is methanoic acid. 2 carbon containing carboxylic acid is ethanoic acid. I mean carboxylic acids are known as alkanoic acid. Methanoic acid, ethanoic acid, propanoic acid, alka. So why is the methanoic acid? See, write the molecular formula of carboxylic acid Y. Molecular formula means whole number of atoms. You count how many carbon? 1 C. How many hydrogen? 2 hydrogen, CH2, and oxygen 2 oxygen, 2 O2. So the molecular formula of carboxylic acid Y will be CH2O2. Complete the dot and cross diagram to show the arrangement of electrons in a molecule of carboxylic acid Y. You see, from the displayed formula of carboxylic acid is this double bond. So this will be 4 electron. One single bond share 2 electrons, so double bond contain 4 electron. And any single bond contains 2 electron. 1 dot 1 cross, here 1 dot 1 cross. And oxygen is a group 6 element. It has 6 electron in its outer shell. So this carbon gives 2 electron to oxygen gives 2 electron. Oxygen, it gives 2 electron, remaining 4 electron exists as outer shell as non-bonding electron. Now carbon hydrogen single bond 1 dot 1 cross, carbon oxygen single bond 1 dot 1 cross, oxygen hydrogen single bond 1 dot 1 cross, oxygen gives 2 electrons, so remaining 2 pair of electron, non-bonding electron means these electron do not form bond. Carboxylic acid Y reacts with propan 1-ol to form ester Z and one other product. You know, any carboxylic acid reacts with alcohol in presence of sulfuric acid to produce ester and water. So, name and draw the structure of the ester Z. as propanol, so alcohol part will be propyl. Carboxylic acid is methanoic acid, so acid part will be methanoate. Product of the ester will be propyl methanoate. This is the acid part, methanoate, 1 carbon, HCOO, methanoate. 3 carbon alkyl group is propyl methanoate. So this is the structure or displaced formula of propyl methanoate, and this name is the propyl methanoate. Number 2, name the other product formed when carboxylic acid reacts with propanol, water. Other product will be water. You know, carboxylic acid reacts with alcohol in presence of sulfuric acid to produce ester and water. Number 3, an ester which is a structural isomer of Z. So methyl propanoate. Methyl propanoate also same molecular formula as Z, and a carboxylic acid which is structural isomer of ester, butanoic acid. Both have molecular formula with the given ester with Z. Butanoic acid, you will count how many carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. Methyl propanoate, same number of, same molecular formula. So methyl propanoate and butanoic acid have the same molecular formula as propyl methanoate. Thank you, dear students. Dear students, subscribe my channel and share with your friends. Thank you.